It was a routine overnight flight from Rio de Janeiro to Paris, a journey that would end in tragedy and forever change the course of aviation history. Let's start by understanding the background of Air France Flight 447. This flight, designated as AF447, was operated by an Airbus A330-200, a state-of-the-art wide-body aircraft known for its reliability and advanced technology. The crew consisted of experienced professionals, including Captain Marc Dubois, who had over 11,000 flight hours, and First Officer David Robert, along with a highly trained cabin crew. As Air France Flight 447 departed from Rio de Janeiro on the evening of May 31, 2009, everything seemed routine. The Airbus A330-200, a modern and sophisticated aircraft, climbed steadily into the night sky, bound for Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. On board, passengers settled in for the long flight ahead, unaware of the challenges awaiting the crew and the aircraft over the vast Atlantic Ocean. Approximately 3.5 hours into the flight, as Flight 447 approached the midway point over the Atlantic, the routine handover of air traffic control responsibilities occurred, from Brazilian to Senegalese airspace. Little did anyone know, the flight was about to encounter a menacing foe, intense thunderstorm activity. As the Airbus A330 entered this region of turbulent weather, the situation inside the cockpit began to change rapidly. The aircraft's airspeed indicators, crucial instruments for safe flight, started behaving erratically. Confusion and uncertainty gripped the cockpit as the crew struggled to interpret the conflicting data and understand the true airspeed of the aircraft. In the midst of this chaos, the pilots were faced with a critical situation. The combination of adverse weather conditions and unreliable airspeed readings posed a formidable challenge. Despite their best efforts, the crew's attempts to regain control and stabilize the aircraft were ultimately unsuccessful. At 2:10 a.m. UTC on June 1, 2009, Air France Flight 447 suddenly disappeared from radar screens, signaling the beginning of a harrowing mystery that would unfold over the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. Join me as we delve deeper into the events that led to the tragic crash of Flight 447, a pivotal moment in aviation history that continues to raise questions and spark discussions about safety and preparedness in the skies. In the air traffic control centers monitoring the flight, confusion and concern quickly took hold. There were no distress calls, no signals of trouble, just silence from Flight 447. As minutes turned into hours, the uncertainty surrounding the fate of the aircraft deepened. Air traffic controllers scrambled to establish contact, hoping for any sign of life from the Airbus A330. Meanwhile, family members and loved ones of those on board waited anxiously for news. It was a heart-wrenching moment. A transatlantic flight that had vanished without a trace. A massive search and rescue operation was launched to locate the missing aircraft and uncover the truth behind the tragedy. The search efforts were monumental, covering vast stretches of the Atlantic Ocean where Flight 447 was believed to have gone down. However, the task was daunting. Search teams faced numerous challenges due to the remote location of the crash site and the sheer size of the ocean. Days turned into weeks as search vessels and aircraft meticulously scanned the surface of the water, hoping to spot debris or signs of the missing Airbus A330. Despite the tireless efforts of search crews, the deep ocean currents and unpredictable weather conditions posed formidable obstacles. Families and loved ones anxiously awaited news, clinging to hope that survivors would be found amidst the vastness of the Atlantic. In the end, the plane was found on 3 April 2011, 2 years later. The flight data recorders, housed within robust and specially designed casings, are crucial in unraveling the sequence of events leading up to an aircraft accident. However, retrieving these vital devices from the depths of the ocean presented extraordinary challenges. The ocean floor, thousands of meters below the surface, became the target of intricate search efforts, utilizing advanced sonar technology and remotely operated vehicles. And by mid-July, they had located and recovered them. But what could they tell investigators about the last minutes of the plane? Following the recovery of the black boxes from Air France Flight 447, investigators from the BEA, French Aviation Safety Agency, embarked on a meticulous examination to unravel the circumstances behind the tragic crash. As soon as the flight recorders were readable, the investigators could tell there was something really wrong. They could see that suddenly the airspeed, the speed of air going over the wing, dropped to an impossible number. But what could cause this? Well, investigators found that in a storm at 36,200 feet, where the air is cold, that the rain froze over a very important part of the aircraft, the pitot tubes. These measure airspeed, and the effect of them being covered in ice gave impossible readings. In response to the unusual airspeed indications, the flight crew initially attempted to diagnose and rectify the problem using standard procedures. However, as the situation escalated and the aircraft encountered severe turbulence, the crew faced increasing challenges in maintaining control and situational awareness. The crew's efforts to troubleshoot the airspeed issue were further complicated by the lack of specific training and procedures for handling such a scenario. Ultimately, amidst the chaos of the storm and unreliable instrumentation, the crew struggled to effectively manage the flight path and stabilize the aircraft. The investigation into the crash of Flight 447 highlighted the challenges faced by the crew in responding to unexpected and complex situations, underscoring the importance of comprehensive training and enhanced protocols for aviation safety. The tragic events of Flight 447 serve as a catalyst for ongoing improvements in pilot training, cockpit resource management, and aircraft systems to enhance safety and prevent similar incidents in the future.